Jai Hind to all. My name is Dr. Divya Sharma. Now, today's video lecture is on HDLC and point-to-point. These topics are from Data Communication Network. Its code is BEC062. So, first we will discuss HDLC. Its full form is High Level Data Link Control. Then we will discuss point-to-point protocol. So, this is high-level data link protocol is a bit-oriented protocol for communication over a point-to-point or multi-point links. Now here, so these three topics we will discuss in this section: configuration and transfer modes, frames and control field. Now you can see, first we will discuss how when we are sending data from sender to receiver. So it may be point-to-point, means if one sender is there, one receiver is there, where we are sending command request to this primary means first one node to another node, and we are getting response from this computer to primary computer, then this is a point-to-point communication, means we are communicating from one computer to another computer only. If we are talking about this, there are multiple computers are there, and this is a primary and these two computers are secondary. So we are sending command request from this primary to multiple computers are there. So it is received at the it can be received at this computer or this computer. So we are getting response from these two computers, that is multi-point. Means we are communicating from one primary computer to multiple secondary computers are there in a network, that is known as multi-point communication. Now here this is also a very important topic. This asynchronous balance mode. What do you mean by this asynchronous balance mode? Here this is a combined, means here this is a station, this one is a station. Now here when we are sending command, so with this command we are sending response also from this computer to another computer, and again from this computer to another computer we are sending command request to this computer, and we are sending response also for the previous data which is received at this receiver side. Now this is a frame format of HDLC. Now these you can see this is in three classification in three types, that I frame, S frame and U frame. Now I frame stands for information used for transmission of data between connected nodes, and S frame is supervisory frame, that is used for acknowledgements and flow control. Now this is U frame. U frame means unnumbered frame, that is used for control and management purpose. Now this is the format of this I frame, this is the format of S frame, this is a U frame format. Now you can see in this format of I frame means information frame, flag is connected here, flag field is there, address field is there, control field is there, user information means data is also there, and this is a frame check sequence, and this is a flag. Now here you can see flag is 8 bytes, address is 8 byte or more byte, 8 bits or more bits, control field is 8 bits or 16 bits, user information is variable size, and frame check sequence is 16 bits or 32 bits, and flag is here 8 bits. Now this is a frame format of this I frame, means information frame. Now if we are talking about this supervisory frame, here these are the fields present: flag, address, control field, frame check sequence and flag. Here user information is not there in this S frame. Now here you can see this U frame means unnumbered frame. Here fields are flag, address, control field. Address means source or destination address. Control field we will discuss in the next slide briefly. Now here is a management information, frame check sequence and flag. So this is the format of this I frame, S frame and U frame. Now we will discuss this control field format for this different frame types. Now here this is the I frame format, means control field in this I frame where there is first bit is 0. Now this is NS. NS means send sequence number. P and F. P and F stands for pole final, which is used for synchronization, acknowledgement and link management. Now NR is receive sequence number. Now this is P is, now here for this P and F, P is set 1 by sender when it wants a response, but F is set 1 by receiver in a response to a poll, means acknowledge the poll from a sender. Now this is a control field format for S frame. Now you can see in I frame first bit is 0, S frame first and second bit is 1 0. Now this is the code. So this is a code field. So we will discuss in the next slide how you can differentiate this code field. Now this is P and F same, and this is a receiver sequence number code here. Now you can see U frame. So U frame first and second bits are 1 1. So you can differentiate by using these bits. If first bit 0 bit is there, this is I frame. If first second means 1 0 bit is there, then you can see S frame, supervisory frame. If first two bits are 1 1, then you can say U frame. Now code fields we will discuss in the next slides. For this U frame also, and PFS field is same as we have in I frame and S frame, and this code is also U frame. We will discuss in the next slide. Now here first we will discuss I frame. So first we will discuss this send sequence number. This is of 3 bits and it represents sequence number of the frame which is being sent. And this send sequence number used for error control and flow control. Now P and F is of 1 bit, and in command frames it acts as a pole P and requesting an immediate response. And in response frames it acts as a F final and acknowledging the pole. Now in this NR field means receive sequence number. This consumes 3 bits and acknowledges the next expected frame from the sender, and it helps in error recovery using automatic repeat request. Now you can see if this position bit position is there, 1 is there, so it defines 0, identifies I frame. 2 to 4 it means NS send sequence number. If 5 is there, then pole final bit, and 6 to 8 is receive sequence number. 9 to 16 is extension if used. Now next we will discuss S frame. So this is the frame format of S frame where first and second bit is 1 0. Now we will discuss this code also. So this code is, if it is 0 0, it means receive ready. It means acknowledgement received frames and indicates readiness to receive more. If this code is 1 0, it means receive not ready. If it is 0 1, it means it will reject it. And if this code is 1 1, it means selective request. So this is a description of this code. Here if bit position MSB is 1 to 2, it means 1 0 identifies S frame. And 3 to 4, it means supervisory frame function code. Fifth one is pole final, and 6 to 8 is receive sequence number. Now next is U frame. So U frame, this is the format of U frame. If first second bit is 1 1, then you can say this is a type of U frame. This one is the code field. This one is P and F, already discussed in the previous slide. And this field also for the code one. Now if we are using this code bits are 0 0 and this code bits are 0 0 1. So its command is SNRM. Now it stands for set normal response mode. So these are the codes for these bits. If we are setting these codes for in this frame, U frame, then these are the commands for these. Bit codes. If it is 1 1, so 0 1 1. If this code is 1 1, this one is 0 1 1. So SNRME, it means set normal response mode extended. If it is 1 1, so second code is 1 0 0. So SABM, its response is DM, it means set asynchronous balance mode or disconnected mode. So based on this mode, we will discuss an example how when we are sending data from sender to receiver and we have to send that data while using this SDLC frame format. So we will discuss an example later. So these are the codes we have. If these are the bits are used here for these codes, then these are the responses for this one. Next is difference between ISU frame. So what is the difference in between these 3 frames? If we are using this I frame, it means starts with 0, S frame start with 1 0, U frame start with 1 1. Now for this I frame, sequence number, yes, NS, NR also present here in the frame format. Now for the S frame, NR only present in the S frame format, and in the U frame, these NS and NR are not, these fields are not present in the U frame. Now this one, I frame is used for data transmission, S frame is used for error and flow control, and this U frame is used for control and management. Now we can see an example. If we have to send there is two nodes are there, node A and node B. Now node A asks for a connection with a set asynchronous balance mode, that is SABM frame, and node B gives a positive response with an unnumbered acknowledgement UA frame. So you should know the frame format of when we are putting this SABN in the format in the code, then we should know the format, how we can establish connection, how we can disconnect the connection from receiver to sender. So these codes you should know when we are doing connection, we are sending data from sender to receiver. So we are taking this example. Now, if we are after data transfer, first we have to establish the connection. We have to send the data from sender to receiver. Then after that, after data transfer, node A sends a disconnect request frame to release the connection, and it is confirmed by node B responding with a UA unnumbered acknowledgement that connection you can release. Now you can see this example. If we are sending frame from node A to node B, so here node A, when we are doing connection, means if we are doing connection, as we are establishing a connection in between sender to receiver, so we have to send frame format in this form SABN. So SABN, you should know the code 111110, and flag is there. This is a source destination address. This is a control field. This is a management data. This is frame check sequence, and this is a flag. So this is a format you should know. This is a U frame format for this when we are sending frame from sender to receiver. Now we are getting acknowledgement, means U frame, you are getting acknowledgement in the form of UA. So you should know the bits which one we have to place in the field of code in this U frame, right? So here flag is there, destination address is there, destination address is here destination address B. So control field is there, management data, frame check sequence, and flag is there. Now data is transferred when first we have to establish the connection, then we have to send data from node A to node B. Now after sending the data from transferring data from sender to receiver, we have to disconnect the connection. So we have to send connection release request, means we have to use this U frame disconnect request. So flag is there, destination address is B, control field. So here we have to use the codes of DISC in this U frame format. Management data is there, frame check sequence is there, flag is there. Now here U frame, we are getting the acknowledgement for this connection is releasing here. So we have to use this UA command. So bits are placed here according to UA, and you can release the connection. Now next is point-to-point protocol. Now SDLC is a general protocol that can be used for both point-to-point and multi-point configuration. One of the most common protocol for point-to-point access is point-to-point protocol, and it is a byte-oriented protocol, and we will discuss in this point-to-point protocol framing, transition phases, multiplexing, and multi-link point-to-point protocol. So here this is a format of point-to-point frame format. Flag is there, 1 byte, then address is there, 1 byte, control field is there, protocol field is there, payload field is there, frame check sequence is there, and flag is there at the end of this frame. Now here these are the size of the of each one field in this frame format of point-to-point protocol. Now if flag is there here, 1 byte, it should be, this is the standard format of this flag, and this is marks the beginning and ending of the frame. Address is 1 byte by default, and broadcast address typically not used in point-to-point protocol. This is a control field that is of 1 byte and specifies an unnumbered frame format, and protocol is of 1 or 2 bytes, identifies the encapsulated protocol. Now here payload means data, that is 02 means it is variable, or you can say 021500 bytes, and carries the actual data, which one network layer packet is there. Now frame check sequence, FCS stands for frame check sequence, it is of 2 to 4 bytes, and error detection using CRC, cyclic redundancy check is there. Now flag is again 1 byte, and it is the ending of the frame. Now point-to-point protocol is a byte-oriented protocol using byte stuffing with the escape byte 0 5 times 1 means after getting this 5 times 1 we have to add here 0 like this. So this is a byte stuffing format when we are doing byte stuffing in a in this one flag. So here these are the transition phases when we are sending data from sender to receiver. First we have to establish the connection, we have to send the data, we have to disconnect the. So these are the steps of when we are sending data from sender to receiver. Now here we are discussing transition phases when we are sending data from sender to receiver. First we have to establish the connection between sender to receiver. Then we have to authenticate. Then if authentication is successful, then we have to make a network. So network layer configuration is there. This one is open. Then we have, when you are getting the acknowledgement, when you are sending data from sender to receiver and you are getting the acknowledgement, then we have to terminate that connection, and then that process is there. So these are the step phases of transition when we are sending data from sender to receiver. Now, multiplexing in point-to-point protocol. So this one is the frame format of this multiplexing in point-to-point. First one, flag is there, address field is there, control field, protocol field. Here this is a data field. So data, now here is frame check sequence and flag. So here protocols are LCP, means if this code is there, so this is LCP protocol. LCP stands for link control protocol. If these codes are present here in this protocol, that is, if this one and this one codes are there, then AP protocol. AP stands for authentication protocol. If this code is there, it means NCP, it means network control protocol. If these codes are present in this field, then you can say these are the differentiation of the protocol. Now here this is a data. So this is also classified into NCP, AP and LCP. So here this one, these are the fields in this NCP, AP and LCP. So what do you mean by this? If we are discussing each one, that CHAP, what do you mean by CHAP? What do you mean PAP? So CHAP is challenge handshake authentication protocol. It is an authentication method used in point-to-point protocol, which is used to securely verify the identity of a client. Now it is more secure than PAP. PAP stands for password authentication protocol, because it uses three-way handshake and avoids sending passwords in the plain text. Now, so two steps are there, challenge and response. And the third one is verification and authentication. So first one is challenge. So three steps are there in this challenge handshake authentication protocol. First is challenge, second is response, and third one is verification. First, we have to send random challenge message to the client. Then second is response, and the third one is verification of that and authentication of that message. So here this is LCP, frame format of this LCP packet encapsulated in a frame. Flag field is there, address field is there, control field is there. This one is your, you can see in the previous slide, this is a protocol. So which one protocol is there? 0x. So this one is used for LCP packet. This code is used for LCP packet. Now here this is a data. Now data, here data field is code field, then ID, then length, then information, variable information you can add here, and frame check sequence and then flag. So this is a flag, this is a format of LCP, means link control protocol format is there. So LCP, so if these codes are present in this LCP packet, so you can say if code is 0x01, so you can see this is configure request, means if we want to configure the request, then we have to this code in the field of LCP packet. If this code is there, then configure acknowledgement. If this code is there, then configure not acknowledgement. If this field is there, configure request. So these are the packet type for these codes present in the field of LCP packets. Now these are the common options. If maximum receive unit, means payload field size is 150. This is a default size for this maximum receive unit in the data field. Now this is authentication protocol, none. Now protocol field compression is off here, and address and control field compression is off here in the common options for this field. Now here is PAP packet encapsulated in a point-to-point frame protocol. Now, PAP stands for Password Authentication Protocol. We are sending data from this user to system. So first we have to authenticate the request, then authenticate acknowledgement and authenticate not acknowledgement. So these are the format. Now, authenticate request means code 1 is there, ID, length, username, username, password. So these are the fields should present in this authenticate request when we are giving authenticate request from sender to receiver. When we are authenticating acknowledgement, so code 2 is there, ID is there, length, message length, username. So these are the fields present for this authenticate acknowledgement, and for the not acknowledgement, code is there, ID, length, message length and username are there. Now these all are authenticate request, authenticate acknowledgement, not acknowledgement. These are the fields present in this data, means payload. So these are the, so you should know the authenticate request field code. Now for this one, authenticate acknowledgement or not acknowledgement. Now this is a CHAP. It stands for Challenge Handshake Authentication Protocol. So when we are sending data from user to receiver, then you should know 3 processes are there: challenge, response and success or failure. So for this challenge, so these are the fields, means this is the format when we are using for this challenge. Code 1 is there, ID, length, challenge length, challenge value, it is variable, so then name. So these are the fields for this challenge. Now for the response, code 2, ID, length, response value and name. So these are the fields present in response. Now if we are talking about this success, then code 3 is there, ID, length, message are there. Now in the failure, code 4, ID, length, message. So all these fields are present in this data in the case of CHAP packet, means Challenge Handshake Authentication Protocol. Now in IPCP, packet encapsulation in a point-to-point frame format. Now IP stands for IP Control Protocol, is a network control protocol used in point-to-point protocol to configure or enable or manage internet protocol communication over a point-to-point link. So this is a frame format for this IPCP. Flag is there, field is there, address field is there, control field is there. This is a code for IPCP and this is a payload. Now frame check, sequence and flag. Now for this payload, we have a fields, we have a format that where we have a code, ID, length and IPCP information that is in form of variable. Now these are the code values for IPCP. If we have a code 0x01, then configure request, 02, then configure acknowledgement, 3 for not acknowledgement, 4 is for reject, 5 is for terminate request, 6 is for terminate acknowledgement and 7 is for code reject. Now this is a format for IP datagram encapsulated in a point-to-point frame. Now point-to-point protocol and an IP datagram is encapsulated within a point-to-point frame and transmitted over a serial link. So this allows IP packets to be sent over a dial-up or DSL or VPN and other point-to-point. Now here you can see the format of IP datagram. Flag is there, address, control field. This is the code used for IP datagram in a point-to-point field protocol. Now this is a payload. So in here you can see payload, we have a format that header and user information there in the IP packet. That's it consumed in here in the payload. This format is present in the payload. Then frame check, sequence and flag. Now we can take an example. This is a user and this is a system. We have to configure request. So this is a format. So flag is there. So address is there. Control field is there. This is a protocol code. Now configure request, we have a control fields are there, 01, it starts with 01, there are options. So this is for LCP. And when we are, so in this, when we are establishing connection, so configure, when we are configure request, so we are getting the configure acknowledgement for this, for the connection establishment. So their frame format is like this. So flag is there, destination address, control field is there. This is the code for this LCP. Now configure acknowledgement, this is the field format for configure acknowledgement, then flag is there. Or this is the frame check sequence. This one is the frame check sequence. Now after connection establishment, we have to authenticate that connection. So this format is PAP. Now flag is, this one is, here also their source addresses, control fields are there, but we are writing here in short that we are using here code for PAP. Then this is a control field, this is a field format for this authenticate request, then here is a frame check sequence, then flag. Then authenticate acknowledgement we are getting from this system to user, then this is the format that here is a flag, this is a code for PAP, this is a format for authenticate acknowledgement. Now, after authenticating this establishment, this connection, then we have to establish a network. So network, we have to use this protocol IPCP. Now we have to use here code for IPCP, then configure request, and then flag, flame check sequence, then flag. Then again we have to configure acknowledgement. So we have to use here code for IPCP, and we have to use this frame format for configure acknowledgement, then frame check sequence, then flag. Now after that we have to send the data. Now when we are sending data, so this is protocol is IP protocol. So here code is for IP, then this one is a format for this IP, header and data is there, then frame check sequence, then flow. So we can send so many frames or so many data from sender to receiver. So like this we can multiple data you can send from sender to receiver. Then we are getting these, let it be this is frame 1, this one is frame 2. So multiple frames you can send from sender to receiver. Now after sending data from sender to receiver, we have to disconnect the connection. It means you have to terminate the connection from receiver to sender. So sender will send the terminate request from sender to receiver, and its code, here code is C021, and this is used for this LCP protocol, because LCP protocol is used to terminate the connection. So here this is a format, frame format for this terminate request, then frame check sequence, then flag is there. Now receiver will send the terminate acknowledgement that termination is done. It means we have to use this LCP protocol for this termination. So here this is a code for LCP, that terminate acknowledgement format is there, then flame check sequence, then flag. So this is an example how we can send data from sender to receiver. It means first we have to connect the connection establishment, then authentication, then we have to do the data transfer, then termination. So these are the references for this topic. So textbooks you can refer Foruzen, MC, this Stelling, then Tenenbaum, or you can use reference books, that is BP Labti or this one. Now thank you.